Game Dev Talks by Space Tournament.
So welcome both of you and also the people watching. This is the second time we are doing the game developer talks. So we get to see a bit of like the background of how it is developing a game. And today we have Alexei from Total Reload, and we also have Nico from Space Tournament. And yes, we're just gonna go a bit through how it was developing the games for them, and also, yes, just get to know them. And if you have any questions, you can also like write them in the comments and we will answer them on Twitter, or yes, just send us a message. We're always happy to share like this process. So maybe we can start with like a little introduction of both of you. What is your name and what is the game you develop? Do you want to start, Alexei?
Okay, thank you. My name is Alexei, as people is mentioned before. I'm developer of Total Reload game. I'm programmer and kind of artist. We are in the studio, and that's why we take all like parts of like develop process and divide and share. So I responsible for anything basically, as usual in India. So what should I say also?
Yes, like maybe you can tell us a bit like what is your game about and what could people expect from it?
Our game is about like it's a puzzle game, first of all. Puzzle game with artificial intelligence, the main thing of this game. You have to solve puzzles on the basic level, and on the second level of this game, you should like try to find out what's happened in this story, how like situation works. You have to interact with your things, which you can do right now in our demo on Steam. But on the second layer, you have to interact with artificial intelligence, which like take to attention player behavior, reaction, actions, and give like kind of story like narrative information or advice about like solving puzzles. It's like the main thing which our game make us different from similar like puzzle games.
Nice. And how long have you been like creating this game?
Yes, it took a long time. We have been working on it like for 8 years almost, like since we finished our universities. So, yes.
Oh, okay, Nico, do
Okay,
you want
cool.
to go now?
I would have some question about it. Did you directly but you didn't start directly in full time on the game after study?
Yes, we started on it like completely directly full-time work on it. Even in uni, we work like half-time, or I would say full-time. It took full-time working on it, like even during university times. Basically, right now we spend full-time working on it, I would say yes. And most of time takes like artificial intelligence development right now and marketing things. Before we have been working on mechanics, graphics, and etc., like basic development things. So
Okay, cool. So, but is you started the project on your own with some people?
uh, I what I yes, I would say we started together with my uni mate Alexander. We have been
Okay.
on it with him, like from the start. Later, some people tried to join us, but we decided not to work on it because it's kind of hard to be like drowned inside of this story all the time, keep things in your mind, and like how to say, like you have to spend all your time on like this, devote yourself to this game, I would say, like development.
And how do you finance it, or how do you get the money for the project?
For first time, we used our not crowdfunding. We have been working on in company and left it in sake of development. And later we opened different small companies. I would say I opened, and now I have like small income from it and develop the game based on like income from our companies, small companies, businesses.
Ah, okay. So you are not only working on the project, but you have also other projects to get money.
Yes, of course. But it doesn't like it's not the main project. Another projects are not main. Like it's just like they give small amount of money just to make able to live and invest
To make
in
a living.
yes,
Yes.
and invest into this game. Yes.
Uh, uh. Okay, cool. Wow, 8 years.
Yes. Even right now, I have especially hard for us, for me personally right now, it's artificial intelligence because it's kind of new thing and it's supposed to talk like, first of all, it's supposed to talk on different languages, understand the things which player does during the game and react like smoothly on it. Just not make random answers or like things which not connected to actions or something like that. It should like be as a person behind the screen, which like kind of has like own views, own ideas, and which want to share story about the game based on like actions and actions which make her how to say stimulate to describe something new to you. So it's like not just like that like how to say conductor which like conduct and do something like because it has schedule like to describe something new. It's just it's a thing which like I think supposed to be interesting for people who like to dig in deep, like to find something new.
Okay.
Yes, kind of
Yeah, I think that
thing.
sounds pretty difficult to implement. So are you how do you implement the AI? Is it in like is it like a neural network like this stuff that you train it, or do you try to
Uh,
code it?
I would say yes, I understand. I would, we didn't code it completely. Partly we code some things in this game, partly we created artificial AI models which allows like to find solution in games. It's not like only one artificial intelligence. It's a bunch of like models which interact with each other and provide some like result about the situation in real time. Kind of like complex model.
So you using, do you have a completely local AI then running on your PC, or is it like that you using some API, or only if you want to talk about if it's some secret of you, because you don't have to.
Of course, I can talk about this. Yes, at first time I thinking I thought like about using API like ChatGPT is quite useful thing for this, like because it's quite smart. But the thing is, it takes time to provide a response on your request first of all, and you have to have like internet connection, which is not great. And the last thing, it's quite expensive to provide like interaction with it all the time. Like bunch of players will like use energy of this like of service, and it's not like easy to support such like calculations. That's why we decided, I find actually I found solution how to implement this like technology in a local device. Like every personal computer will have like kind of brain of our game, artificial intelligent brain, which will interact with him.
Okay. Wow, cool. I'm still wondering a lot because it's I think it's a very hard plan because I don't know about ChatGPT 3.5, for example. It needed the energy of 350. I don't know exactly, but it's an immense amount of energy and an immense amount of power and how to say it, in hardware you need to train these systems. If it's one setup, I think maybe the Grafikkarte
I understand,
on the
yes.
computer maybe is enough if it's trained, but the training I think is very expensive of such models which are smart enough to make conversation. Or do you have some way to do this?
Yes, I have like a special computer which allows to like take like a few nights or weeks to work on some like training process, like solving puzzles. Actually, we don't have like super massive large model which we have to train. It's basically like small models, I would say, which you can train in a few threads on the like server, and in this way we solved this problem. Yes, you shouldn't, like I would say, train like massive artificial intelligence which knows everything. You just train like it on solving like specific tasks, not like
Uh-huh.
knowing everything in this world. It's like how to solve this puzzle. We put like
Okay.
bunch of like tasks and make him like solve it like inside like model.
So it's not like it can make conversation about all stuff, but it's really an AI which within the game, which how do you interact with the AI as the player?
What? Sorry.
How do you interact with the AI as the player?
As a player right now, basically it's our idea which we like test right now. You interact through actions with surrounding with the world. For example, you can like take decision and walk somewhere to solve, like to try your idea and like to make actions, and basically on your decision artificial intelligence will look on your like solutions and like process these actions idea and give feedback on it in this way. Not directly, you didn't type like request to model and it replies like
Okay. So it reacts on your actions. You're
yeah.
not directly making conversation to it. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, maybe then it's more easy to have a model that can do this.
Actually, we thought it's quite boring to make it to allow it to have a conversation based on like typing text request, because you have to interrupt player from uh, trying to solve puzzle, from like solving from game process, and the player will switch to completely another mechanics, typing, like just stopping and making boring things. That's why we tried
Uh-huh.
our best to make everything be like smooth, interesting, funny, joking, and without like interrupting mechanics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Uh-huh. Wow, yes, sounds very exciting.
Maybe Nico, you can also introduce a bit like your project for like the people that are not familiar with space
Yes,
tournament.
yes.
I know
What?
you have a lot of questions for each other, but just to have like a framework.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear what? Sorry.
No, I just asked
Yes,
you
I will
when
now explain Space Tournament. Yes, it's a more classic game, I would say. It's a card game. There you're controlling a spaceship in 2D, two-dimensional world. And yeah, it's a classic arcade game, so it's really about making a good time on a level and to beat your friends' records. And we also focused on a nice art style, so it looks cute, but also technical, that you really can optimize with lights and stuff like this. And yes, it will be available for all platforms. It's made in Godot, and so we can port it easily to different platforms, also on some consoles. Yes, that's I think a summary of the game. Yes.
And what would you say? This question is for both of you. You can choose like who wants to answer it first. But lately, what do you think are like a challenge that you have to face with your game that you didn't anticipate when you started developing it?
Let's say you'll start first. Thank you. I think the main talent is like hard working skills for me. It's all I have to work hard on game. Basically, yes, it's crucial thing. Its ability to work hard and be able to learn something new, like about in different like areas of development, not just like programming or artist things. It's also narrative design, like sound making process, like anything can be useful in this like sphere, I would say. Hard to make something like specific choice. You have to know like one thing and you will be successful. No, in our case, in the case, you have to know everything, and it's not like he's like probably no massive guarantee everything will be nice if you even if you know everything. Yes.
Yes, I totally feel this. I think that's also something very cool about game development and about making some small project alone or with few people, that you really have to dig into very different areas. So because yeah, the game needs a lot of stuff. It's also, if it's a small game, maybe there are some games which have some very strong concept and they completely ignore graphics or stuff like this. But and normally you have to dig into a lot of areas, because you want, for example, you want in the menu, you want to your buttons to be hovering and that there's a nice effect, and you maybe want an intro video and you want story and you want so different stuff, and so you really have to know about all these areas. You also have to know the stuff, because in the beginning you think, oh, okay, yes, I will do this, and then you start it and then you realize, oh, okay, that's a profession again. That's some people are only doing this because it's some area you can really perfectionize, where you can get very very good, and you can check out every areas, and yeah, can work in every areas, and that's nice. That's also difficult because you're sometimes coming to, I think a lot of areas are also very connected. Often I think I start something and then I realize, okay, I already saw it in Blender in some way. I did something similar. Now it's a little bit different, but I already did it. But it's also, yeah, very different. For example, now we made a intro video for our game with some parallax layers, and you have some camera drive through the layers and some sound effects and some music in background. And Yeah, for example, the music, I don't do music. That's completely. If I would open this door, I would have to learn 1 month just to make some simple, nice sounds, I think. But I had to make the sound effects and the combination and the camera drive and this stuff, and that it was a lot of this was the first time I did it. But yes, it was fun and it was interesting, and now I can do this. So yeah, that's. I think it's not only one difficulty; it's that you are always learn a lot of new stuff, and it's always in the beginning, or not always, but it's often in the beginning difficult to start again learning. So yeah.
Yeah, just with this idea of the sounds, how did you do it for total reload? Like, did you hire someone or did you do all the sounds yourselves?
Oh yes, it's kind of, for me it was total hell with sound because I'm not the person who like provide sound effects or like do music, especially music. Yes, sound in Total Reload like has like a few layers. One of them like procedural sound. It's like computer generates sound effects during like game process, like wind, noise, wave sounds, maybe knocking, something like that. Pre-recorded sounds, actually procedural sounds was made by me, yes. Pre-recorded sounds, the same. I have been working on them. Basically, you have like online sound generators, like noises generators. You can use them and like generate sounds which you want, but it's not the main thing to generate any sound. You have to be a sound designer. Actually, it's like artist thing which it's not the main skill to just generate some random sound. You have to make the like sounds which connected with each other, and the main thing, the sounds supposed to transfer pace, the main idea of game. It's the hardest thing, like and pace, it's not only one thing which like exists in sounds. I realized pace exists in graphics, sounds, video trailers, and even in font. When I have been working on fonts for game, I realized font is like the thing which like transfer the pace. When the person read, he gets another, like he feels the pace through font. So basically, sound is like one thing which helps person player to go inside game and feel it more, like you want to make him feel it. Yes, and the last thing is like audios which recorded like music sounds. Like it's not like it's not me who have been working on them, because as I said, I don't have like these skills like sound designer. It's like Alexander, he more connected with it, and he produces this like sound effects, like music, basically, which supposed to transfer the game feeling. I would say it's his work completely. So yes.
Nice. For a space tournament, how was it like? There was someone that helped with the music, right, Nico?
Yes, so we in Space Tournament, what I said before was for the trailer, or not for the trailer, for the intro video, I made the sound effects. But for in-game, the music is from different artists, which wanted to also submit some song to the game. That's then in the game. And the sound effects were mainly made by Sammy. It's one of our team member, and he used different approaches. One approach was to lock on some he has free sound websites where you can download free sounds without any how's the name? Where you are
Royalty
allowed to
rights.
use. Yeah, where you have all rights, where you can allowed to do anything with the music, also commercial products and stuff like this. And then sometimes editing them, or yes, I also used for the intro videos these AI generation one time, but I don't know how exactly he worked, but I know that he used some sounds from the internet and sometimes sounds he recorded, for example, for the power, for the thruster of the game. He used some cooking gas, device where you can turn on and then there's gas and then you light and then make. And he used this sound and then he edited on the computer and then he made this sound in the game for the engines, and it worked pretty well, I think. Yes, so recording and using free sounds is our approach, and of course adjusting the sounds in Audacity. I use Audacity to adjust the sounds. And for the intro, I also realized at first I wanted to use some epic effects or from some from some films for the AI, because we have also AI in the game, but it's only for the story. It's not that we use AI for game mechanics, but in the story, there's an AI. And we have some effect of the AI, and I want to use an epic sound from a film, and I grabbed this sound, and then I tried to apply it, but I then thought about, I'm not sure about the rights. That's the first thing. I don't know if I can use it, if I'm allowed. And I also realized that I took this sound and I placed it in regularly because it's some kind of breathing of the AI. And I want to make some effect for the breathing. And I took the same sound and attached it sometimes, and I realized it doesn't sound good because it's looping. It's like weep, 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 and then it's always sound. You hear that it's the same. It doesn't sound good. So I analyzed the sound and looked at the sound, how they are doing the sound, and then I realized it's just some scratchy sound, some and some normal sinus curve. So I go into Audacity and zoomed into the sound to see the waveform. And then there was a transformation. At first it was this sinus curve, and then it transformed into the and so I made some sound, and I took some sinus sound, and then I made in the game that I transformed it via the animation that it fits to the visuals, and so it's a little bit worrying. And so from the weighing and from the analog making of this sound, it fits much better. It's really, you recognize if you listen to it, if you want to hear it, but it's not that you hear the sound and hear the sound. So, and this was pretty much a cool feeling also, because this kind of learning new stuff and to have to investigate how to doing some topics you didn't do any time before, because I don't have, of course, I don't have any sound education or stuff like this. I have to figure it out by myself to how to do it. Yeah, so that was our approach.
You remind me of the thing which I have been like introducing in our game. Yes, yeah, I never thought like it's possible to make some random sound from surrounding used to be able to use in our game, because like for example in our game these platforms which like heavy mechanism and it's like produce like sound, like engine inside sound, and I have been looking for sound in the world and decided to record our microwave stove, my microwave stove, and I just split on different like pieces, make it half procedural sound, half like pre-recorded sound, and when like our platform start work. Yes, of course, I like processed it in Audacity to make it more like volumetric, like and divide on three pieces like start, middle, and end. And when our platform start working, we start like one piece, like in the middle when it moves like another like, and at the end it produced like hit sound like stop engine sound. And in
Yes, I know
total
what
it
you mean.
sounds like yes, cool. And when I asked people like, what do you think, where did I get sound? Like, and it was like, I don't know what is that. It's like basically microwave. It's quite cool, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Here's like many different effects, like which we took from outside, processed it in Audacity in different ways, basically, and make it sound like nice and fit into game. Yes.
Yes. Yes, it's really exciting topic. I also saw somebody, I think you need a lot of experience to do stuff like this and to know stuff like this, that this will work. I saw some video from some guy who made just some and then he edited in Audacity, make it longer and some effects, and then it was some lion burling, so some lion who was shouting loud, and it sounded pretty good. So this was amazing. So yeah, that's interesting how you can transfer, how you can use sounds from the real world, and with Audacity with some effects you can make completely different sounds from it. But you have to, yeah, I think you need to have a good eye for this, good ear for this.
I think probably even like have to have a taste or understanding what you want to get at the end. The main thing which I like have when I produce sound, sometimes I don't know like how it should sound, and I just try to find something in the world similar and try to think like how it should sound here or how like it's supposed to sound in general and what I can find, how to make like tuning of sound, like the main thing which make me stuck in some process. For me it's like I wouldn't say it's super hard to make like short sounds. Of course it's really hard if you want to be a real designer, but if you like know basic things like sound like contain start, middle, and the like decreasing end, and already you can like make different things with like sounds. Like you just can get like cut sound piece of sound and like process it and make already quite good cool thing. Also, as you said, I tried to use like film sounds, but here's the problem because like usually film sounds like not clear sound. They contain like different things like voices on the background, and it made hard to make like remove voices and sound like lost some properties like volumetric, and that's why we decide not to use I decided not to use like such sounds. Just like it's easier to make something nice from templates on the internet or from like recording something outside and process it. Basically you have to process everything, all sounds that you like instill in your game.
Yes, so it was so interesting to like listen about how was your process with sound and how you kind of have also this similar idea of like finding things in your surroundings. And I was wondering also if maybe we can like talk a bit about how was the marketing process, because I feel like as indie developers, it's also like a big part how you promote your game so other people get to know about it. And yes, how was your approach for this? And like, do you have someone that is in charge of the marketing, or do you do this yourself? How does it work?
Let's say start. Okay.
You're in the
It's really,
spotlight every time.
I don't know, like don't want to have like this awkward pause. Like take it. Okay, I would say marketing is really hard process for us, like as a developers, usual people which never stuck with it, never bump on this wall of how to say indifference of people when you have to introduce something new. When you bring your game, people usually at first think, look at like, oh, it looks like this game which I played, and decide basically on just picture like they know about this game everything, which make me completely confused why people judge about the game just by look like. And that's why we like have like we made a few mistakes with like our game appearance, and that's why we have to fix it to make people have right impression and like to make them think it's unique game. The main thing, it's like you have to say like your game is unique and it brings new experience which you never saw before. It's like you have in our world right now, I realized we have many things, many games which like exist and all in one massive competition in like play attention. And when you bring your game, you have to say like it's like game which you never saw. It's fun, cool, etc. And you have to like and you will like it because like it has like some like features which like people supposed to like, which like puzzle games, or if it's like just shooter game, you should show like unique shooter feature which supposed to be close to people which likes like shooters. In our case, we bring our puzzle game and people started compare it with Portal, like saying it's just Portal. And yes, we right now we're trying to make people understand it's not like he's like not portals at all, first thing. And second thing, it's like unique like game, we have unique game puzzles, unique artificial intelligence interaction, and unique storyline. It's like the main thing. So right, that's why we right even right now I'm when I develop my artificial intelligence like speeches, ideas, like the conversation patterns, I try to instill the things which make people like understand it's like not the thing which I saw before, and it's fun, uh, like part of thing which I want to describe here. And second thing, it's like um, I said, like the game supposed not just be unique. It's supposed to be the thing which everybody wants to have. It's the main thing. It's impossible to achieve such thing. It's like on our market, million cars and all actually the same. Okay, plus minus, like we have like gasoline usage and etc. Like speed, but they all cars. And when you develop the thing which like everybody wants to have, you have to develop kind of flying car, for example. I think like this thing supposed to be cool and cheap flying car. Even like if it was in usage, everybody want to buy it because it's like unique and no on market. Like market suffers from such like kind of product. So for last time we provide like meetings with journalists, describe our game, like what is it about, how people supposed to play in it, and unique features. Basically, yes, we don't spend much money, especially on promotion game. We spend money on investing into algorithms like mechanics, and I think like we have to improve maybe music in our game. Yes, invest money on sound designer, especially to make feels like kind of unique thing. So yes, hopefully maybe I will tell something new after like my partner, like opponent.
Um, yes, I think for me it was also is also a very unknown topic. So marketing, the whole thing, marketing, social media, and this stuff. At first I didn't really concentrate on it, or I didn't focus on it. I thought maybe yeah, maybe I can make the game, and if it's good enough, then people will know about it. So in this way, I thought about it. But yeah, I talked with a lot of other developers, and I realized that I have to reach people to in some way to even check out if there are people who are interested in the game. So I think marketing is required in some way, in most cases, or you need somebody who's marketing for you, but in any way you have to market your game, I think. So yes, and in the beginning I also had this feeling about that I tried to make a game for everybody, and I wanted to make the game in a way that that everybody would like it. And at some point I realized that that's completely not possible, and that that's not the target, but that it's some different approach, that I have to find the people, and I have to find the group of people who are interested in this kind of game, and then I have to make this game in the way the people like it, and I have to make the game look like the game it is, that the people who like it realize it's there. So I'm now thinking in this way, but by myself I don't. Anyway, I don't do a lot of marketing or stuff like this. When I in the beginning we had some social media channel, and we had somebody who did it, and he did a little bit stuff on it, but then the person didn't continue, and we also didn't focus on the social media channel, so nothing happened. And after a while I decided that I will not do it, because I'm not so interested. I'm personally don't using a lot of social media and stuff like this, so I'm not so much into the topic. I'm just not so much interested of it, I would say. So I was searching for someone who's interested in social media and who can help me with this. And so I found Carmen, who's now here also, and she's doing a good job to make the to create content for social media, and to make events like this, just to get more people to know the project. And yes, and then on some day, this was also great, at an indie game dev. It was some kind of small congress where you can go with your indie game and can show it to other people and to customers, and then they can play it. Something like a mini Gamescom for indie games. It's called. Oh, how was it called? Carmen, do you remember?
I think it
Indie
was
Games
called
Fest.
Indie Game Fest, like really
Yes, Indie Games
simple.
Fest. Yes, that was the name. And there I met some guy who was interested in publishing my game, and this also was very very useful then, because he has more knowledge about about the game industry, I would say, and about the perspective of a publisher, and about how to market a game. So he's now helping Carmen and me to find ways to
Maximize
reach more
our,
people.
yeah.
Yes, to reach more people. Yes, but I think anyway the main topic in marketing is maybe now that's what I think, that you have really a good product for some group, and then you have to reach the group, and then then also the people of the group can tell each other, oh hey, this is a cool game, and then it can maybe snowball. But of course you have to reach the people, and I think it's not realistic to make it too. There will always be a lot of people who are just not interested in the kind of product you're making. Of course, flying cars that are cheap would a lot of people would be interested. I would say that's what would be insane, but that's not what we can create, and that's not what we need to create. It's more that we have to create a product for some group. Then the group has to be big enough so that we can finance it, I would say. And maybe with the most of the indie games doesn't work out this way. It's because you really have to reach a lot of people to only we didn't develop 8 years, but we developed 3 years, and I don't think that I will earn nearly as much money as if I would have worked in some companies or stuff like in other parts of the free market, not the game industry, indie game industry, because it's insane. You have to sell your product very, very often, I would say. So it's also some kind of, you have to love your product to do something like this, I think. And then with marketing, and if the product is good, you will be one of them who can continue doing this and who are really successful with it.
Yeah, I think sometimes I think it was really interesting ideas, like especially I really like the analogy with like the flying cars. But I think also sometimes you can like market something else that is not a flying car, but it's also really specific for a group of people, what you said, Nico. Um I think with the space tournament, we are really trying to find the audience that resonates with us. And I think it was really good when we went to the festival and we could talk with the people and see what they thought about the game, and then we can make some adjustments. And then also when we were searching for the price of the game, we also did like a questionnaire and we ask our followers, hey, how much do you think we should charge for the game? So it's kind of you're making them part of the process. So we make them be part of a space tournament, and then it's like adapted to them, and then more people can also like it because it was created by the people and because of a necessity. Because I feel like sometimes when we are creating things, we are creating from what we want, but we also have to think there needs to be a need in the market. So to always try to be in contact with the market and check. And the more you check, the more successful your product can be. And also with social media, you can reach so many people. And sometimes you have a game that is so good, but people don't know about it. So maybe with TikTok, you can post a video and it can reach like so many people. So I think it's also good to tap into these technologies because maybe you've been working like so long on something, but people don't get to know it. And it's such a shame because a lot of people would play the game, but they never heard about it. And you also have to be bold, like you said, like you have to say, this is like the coolest game you've ever played. And sometimes we feel shy to say that, like, "Oh, I don't know if it's the coolest game," but you have to say it like that because we are so like collapsed with information and everybody's gonna say the game is the best. So if you
No, no,
don't
no.
go into it,
No, no, let me interrupt you.
okay.
Usually we had this like problem in the past, like I have been working in company and we have been developed like game, like we was really tiny company, and at some point we tried to say such thing, it's the coolest game which you saw, like it's like the best you ever seen, etc. Like and people see the product, it's not necessary to say such thing, it's like cool game, they just can look at it and say like cool it's or not, do we like it or not. The game's supposed to say itself like it's the coolest game. It's like basic thing. The second thing which I realized, uh, actually even we decided, it's even I decided for myself, I shouldn't like say it's cool game, it's the game should say it instead of me. And the second thing, which is like crucial, I think, and it would be helpful for you guys, I think, the game supposed to generate infinity content. It's like the main, not just like trashy content. It's supposed to be cool content which people like. The more coolest content, the more people would like see it, and it's supposed to generate virus content. That's why we decided to integrate artificial intelligence into game, which supposed to be as cool as possible to make like just like to be a machine which generate infinity content for spreading this information about the game on the network. It's not like the idea which like I just invented. I think many big company actually do such things. You probably see like different scenes from games, phrases, and sometimes some phrases like things seems like became like famous naturally, but usually people work on such things to make like inspiration, like to make people not inspiration, to make people like have like in the mind like impression about this game, picture of it, like it's like style, sound, all the things which make like understand, oh, I know this game, I like to play it because it's like fit to my understanding of coolest thing which I could see in the world. Also, content generates it, spread around the network, and in such way, people like spend not massive amount of money for marketing. And the last thing is, which I realized from these like things around marketing, we have very limited amount of money. It's impossible to advertise this game, our game, literally to everybody, like to show it, look at this. And even if we do this like thing and the game wouldn't like advertise itself, it would be the most one of the most useful things which you did, like because like you spend money, person saw and decided not to buy it. And from another side, you didn't spend money on marketing, but person saw the game which promote itself and decide to like should the player buy it or not. I think it's like quite good like strategy to promote game, something like that.
Yes, I think so too. I think the product itself should be really the focus on the marketing, of course. So the product itself must be yeah, it have to be nice because in the marketing you show the product. I think maybe you do some stuff around it, but I think that's also something we now more focused with our new publisher, that of course we have to take the game itself in the focus of the marketing and not to make too much around it. But I think that you can also do this because it's something yet to generate some attention, some more attention. But the game itself must sell the game itself. I think so too, definitely. Yeah, and I think that's more cheap because you have the content, you have the game, you created the game, so you can take the game itself as the content for the marketing. That makes it more cheaper. But I think, of course, you anyway you have to do this. You cannot code your game and have the super nice game without showing it to anybody. So marketing maybe should understand itself as showing the game to as many people as possible, or showing the product in its best phase to as many people as possible. Yeah, there's also something interesting about Steam and about the description of your game. I think it's not about to say, oh, my game is the best game that you ever seen. I think it's about showing the people, oh, my game has this super nice cool feature, do you like it? And it has this super nice feature, do you like it? Here you see it, it looks nice, how do you think about it, do you want to buy it? I think that's a good way to promote stuff, because if you, for example, if you would lie theoretically in your description and the people play it, then they will make a bad comment, or a bad how to call it, they will rate it bad with 1 star or stuff like this, and then that makes a lot of effect. I know it myself, if I look through Steam and then I see mixed reviews, then okay, that I lose in interest. So it's important to tell what the game really is in the marketing, to not make wrong expectations, and to lead to the people who are really interested in the game. Yes.
Good. good. Maybe
I
we
think.
can do one final round if there is something that you wanted to say about your game that you couldn't say, or if not, like how can we be updated of like future developments of the game and like when it's going to be released. Nico, do you want to start this time?
Okay. Yes, we have different social media channels, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and of course the Steam page. And if you follow there, you definitely will also know about the release of the game, and the release will be in Steam Summer Sale. So in, I think, July, and end of July next year. Yes, and yeah, and we will start a Kickstarter campaign next year. This will be also be promoted on the social media channels, of course.
Good.
Okay, you can find Total Reload on Steam. Yes, we have on Steam page, of course. Also, we have different social media pages on the internet. You can easily find them. Also, we have Twitter, and we promote it there. Main thing. Also, we have our own site. You can like get to it and find like any like updates about our company and about like information where you can download the game apart from Steam. Also, we want to publish it on, right now it's like can be published on Windows platforms and Linux platforms, but after New Year, I think we will move to Linux, not Linux, to OS 6, to Mac platforms. You can download our product on Mac, and we plan to release our game on 25 of January. If I'm not like has a mistake. Okay, and you can download it, but I think the date can be slightly moved because we have still like artificial intelligence like development and not achieved like the result which we want to show, like to make it like look best. So that's all.
So, thank you so much. Yes, just maybe we do like another edition of the Game Developer Talks, but we will update you on that. And if you have any questions, you can write us on Twitter, and then we will try to like answer all the queries.